Warning, this program contains frank and honest discussions on sexuality. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, this is season 2 of Unzipped. I'm your new co-host, Shelby.
And I'm Kate, and today we're going to talk about hip-hop and sex and all that good stuff.
What kind of dating advice do you think Tyga would give?
I don't know, like beep that beep.
Very terrible advice. Age doesn't matter.
What kind of dating advice do you think Tyga would give?
I don't know who that is.
Can you name 3 male rappers?
Of course. Chance the Rapper, J. Cole, Drake.
Eminem, Drake, 50 Cent, why not? Yeah.
Drake, Chance the Rapper, and Kendrick Lamar. I also don't listen to that much rap, so.
So can you name 3 female rappers?
Nicki Minaj. Does Iggy Azalea count as one? Like, 'cause she does some weird stuff, and that's all I got.
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. Ooh. Oh shoot. Iggy Azalea, Missy Elliott, and
Female rappers? No.
Today we're here with Rebecca and Ty. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, hey there, I'm a recording artist and a performer in Calgary. My name is Rebecca Dawn, and I also work at Global Fest.
Well, my name's Ty Flemming. I'm an entertainer. I do poetry, hip-hop, stand-up comedy, more recently dance. Also a Global Fest urban artist with Rebecca, and yeah, we're able to spread positive vibes in the city with our talents.
As a female in the hip-hop industry, do you face gender bias challenges?
I think a lot of times women are pressured to present themselves as sex objects in music videos, and like you're gonna get your credit based on like how you look, and I just think that's an unnecessary use of energy when we have so much more to offer as human beings. So one of my favorite rap videos of all time is like Azalea Banks, 212, and she's just killing it with her rap game. She's just wearing a Mickey Mouse t-shirt standing in front of a brick wall, and she's not sexualizing herself, she's being sexy. She's being direct and explicit, she's being hilarious, but it's her rap game that makes me watch that video and makes me care about who she is. So I think the rap game is the great equalizer. It's like it doesn't really matter how you look, but if you can spit fire, then you'll get my respect and you'll be on my playlist for sure.
So do you guys think that there is a gender bias in the hip-hop community?
Well, I think that's a really cool question, because I think if you listen to a lot of mainstream hip-hop, you'll start asking yourself things like, if hip-hop is truly the rose that grew from concrete and it's about overcoming oppression and using our voices to call out what's wrong with the world and make a better way of life, then why on earth are so many of our brothers talking about us like we are like disposable pieces of property or animals? And that's quite a shocker. So that is something that happens.
I feel like I guess the core and the essence of hip-hop is definitely misrepresented in what you would call mainstream sort of thing, but I would just challenge people to ask, where does that mainstream come from? Why is it popular sort of thing? Do people actually like it, or is it more or less like force-fed upon us?
Interesting.
Precisely, because I think there is an ongoing narrative in mainstream, all mainstream genres, from like Hollywood movies, pop music, hip hop, the way that it's reflected to the masses, there's always these undercurrents of jealousy and competition, and I need to be better than you, and if I get some, that means there's less for you. But energy is not like pizza. If I get more, it doesn't mean you get less. And so I think that the true essence of hip hop is like youth rising up in the streets of New York and using their creative talents to overcome oppression and adversity, and to me, that's the true essence. And for a lot of artists, they might think, oh, like I'm nice, like check me out, my flow is sick. And they're like, oh yeah, you're a dope rapper for sure, but what are you saying? Are you speaking to me? Are you delivering me a message that's gonna make me feel good when I'm feeling sad later? Or are you just like showing off because you're nice? And either way is cool, but just I think just know what speaks to your heart and like choose what resonates with you. Like going back to the playlist, even artists like Jean Grey and Ty Phoenix, like ladies who really speak and tell their stories, and like Missy Elliott, right? Warrior women. So
I just got chills. She's just so dope. So do you think that mainstream hip-hop glorifies domestic violence?
I know Eminem in his heyday, every time I would see those videos, I would just feel so uncomfortable, and I was like, what's the purpose of this? What is it saying to me? And so I think that, but I've always been more of like a solutions-based person, so if I hear music that makes me feel bad, I will just turn it off and seek out music that makes me feel good. Because it's like hip hop is freedom of expression too at the end of the day. So if there's men expressing these really dark, negative scenarios, but those are lived realities that they've had with other humans and they're expressing themselves, then that's legit. That's hip hop. That's an archive of part of the human experience.
Well, it's like, you know, hip hop's about speaking your truth. And like what Rebecca was saying before, is like sometimes that is people's truth. You know what I mean? They do live in that reality. And I feel like being able to speak about it like allows you to know like you're not the only one going through it kind of thing. But I don't think that's the end goal of where we're trying to get to with it kind of thing. It might be where we're at, where we're starting sort of thing, but like there's a, I don't know, there's an essence of like getting it out, like you're venting about it, you're allowing yourself to express that sort of thing, not to dwell within it and bring other people into that negativity, but to realize that we all are on the same page, we all do face similar challenges. Life isn't always glorifying. So it's nice to be able to understand that we're not, you know, if you are going through a negative scenario in life, you're not the only one. I don't know, I think it's very interesting. Like Rebecca said before, like the bubble we live in within our like community, like a local music sort of thing, like it's very positive music and stuff like that. You go out, you feel great after.
KRS-One used to say, hip hop is something we live. Rap is something we do, but hip hop is something we live. So the practice of hip hop is the urban art of living in a city and experiencing that culture. So from my point of view, the habitat I've cultivated, the people I roll with, the music I listen to, there's no bias because hip hop is for human beings.
After doing this episode, I thought a lot about not only what positive influences are out there, but how we can have a say in what we listen to and what's popular. If you're listening to something and it's abusive or it's violent, you can choose to turn it off. You can choose not to buy that album or not to download that like Spotify track, you know? We may not have the power in saying who's popular, but we do have power in saying that we won't take it.
Popular hip hop music right now is very male dominated and very like I don't know how to put it, but like kind of degrading for women, you know, like strippers and hoes in the club and like all this stuff, and like that's because hip hop is such a huge influencing factor.
Totally.
I really wish that there was more like positive and like female centric music out there.
Totally.
But
even like sex positive, like I think that sex and sexuality is like such a dominant strand in all of our music. I wish that there was like more sex positive music, not like sex shaming.
Yeah.
She's a hoe and she's a slut. Yeah. But like, just
Agreed.
more celebrating of like all people's sexuality, particularly women's.
My end note would just be to encourage everyone to go check out some female artists and some local artists. There is positive hip hop music out there, and I would love to see it become more popular. And I would really encourage all of our viewers to check out some local musicians, especially Rebecca Dawn and Ty.